What's up, subscribers? Sunjetsu here, and today, right before I was about to go to sleep, Creative Assembly decided to go ahead and post a Let's Play battle for the vampires, and looks like they're going to go ahead and siege the Empire City of Altdorf. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a live review. I have not watched this video yet, so it might be a little bit unscripted-ish and amateur sounding. Sorry about that, guys, but this is my first ever review where I'm just watching the video with you guys, giving you guys my up to the minute comments, which probably composed of me being like, oh, that's cool and all that. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'll give you my thoughts real quick at the end, but I want to go ahead and watch the video.
Sega.
The footage shown uses the in-game engine.
Hello and welcome to another video for Total War Warhammer. My name is Joey Dalton and I'm joined by Darren McNally, who has already played this Battle of Altdorf.
Yes, so this is a unscripted custom battle. It's a siege, and I'm playing as the vampire counts against the Empire. So we thought we'd just give you an unscripted siege so that you can see exactly how it plays out. I've actually gone for a little bit more troops than normal. I've gone for around 24, and I think the enemy have about 26. So this is Altdorf. It's a beautiful looking city. I've chosen a lovely nice day to show off the units in really good lighting.
It looks a lot brighter than before.
Since the preview build, so the game is looking absolutely gorgeous now, and they're still continuing to tweak the lighting and add more.
Oh, okay, they put in those changes to the lighting.
Like more variation.
Oh, and guys, by the way,
if you
want to go and watch the video without me talking through it, the link is in the description below. FYI.
Nothing too significant. Magic is something that has also changed slightly. It's stronger than it was before, but we'll talk through that more when we see it happening on the screen. I mean, as we look through Altdorf, the city is massive.
Yeah, it stretches on for miles. Now, the playable area is a little bit smaller than that, but the visual fidelity of the city is still just as good, even in the distance. You can have a little zoom in and have a look at it.
It actually looks really stunning right now.
But basically, we're fighting against one wall on one side of the city.
This is the city. This is the graphics that we're gonna get.
We'll get to that anyway when
it actually looks quite beautiful. Completely different than some of these demos that we've seen so far.
I've already played through this battle. We're not live playing it right now. We're commentating over the battle that I played myself. So
this is an unscripted battle, guys, and it looks like they're using the in-game cinematic mode. So right now he's basically viewing a replay. So it's pretty. It looks actually really good.
Yeah,
I'm pretty stoked about this, guys.
Literally everywhere.
Because the past battles were looking a little and this one, I don't know what it is, but I mean, they said this is the build that we're going to get right before.
Roughly around high, not on ultra. We thought
this is not ultra graphics, this is about high. Oh, vampire counts. Oh yeah, the vampire counts are sieging. Oh man, I almost forgot.
Also give you a good level of detail. The troops are on the highest detail though. So here we are backing out. These are the siege towers and the zombies there at the back of them.
So there's bones and coffins embedded in their towers. That's some brutal, scary towers right there, I think.
Yeah, it's really nice detail.
Cool.
They're kind of made of like stone muck, and yeah, it's really like it's been pulled out of the ground and just bones and things like that. So it's very, very nice, very cool looking indeed.
There's some dense zombie units here as well.
Just shambling.
For those of you guys who know,
to take the city.
this siege craft that the vampire counts has, they just stated that it had bones and coffins and stuff on it, but it looks like it was something that just came out of the ground, like it was a spell, like siege equipment rise, and then the siege equipment came right out of the ground. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I decided to play as this guy.
Oh my god, I thought it was a
we
witch.
haven't really showed him off yet too much. His clothes are made of skin.
See the faces and the hands?
His clothes are made of skin? What?
So something I thought worth mentioning is that he has an augment spell, a kind of constant ability that's always going around himself, called the Curse of Undeath. And that, as you'll see when I'm casting spells, that they'll actually heal troops around him. So any troops that are around him, they automatically get healed when he casts the spell for a short amount of time. Just in case people are wondering why that's going on when you see it. And this is a new addition as well. It's the spell browser. This is an offline kind of mini encyclopedia just for spells. And you can see the different lores,
encyclopedia is so much better than what we have right now in Attila and Rome 2.
So it's a great
way
way
better
to preview your spells before you go into
It actually
battle
looks kind of MMORPG-ish.
What you think might be most relevant.
We'll be looking closer into the spell browser soon, but yeah, I think it's an excellent feature, especially those that are new to both Total War and Warhammer, really, because it's a big addition.
So here we've got some Graveguard. These are pretty good. They're armored and shielded. They're anti-infantry. They're your kind of
Look at that detail.
not high tier.
I think
but
they said that they
mid-tier,
have the,
sword
armor.
infantry,
the
that can
units
do
on the
pretty
highest
good damage.
settings
And
of
these
the
are kind of
graphics that they
higher
have
tier versions
available
of
right
the
now, but
Great
they don't
Guard
have
with
the
great
settings on
weapons. You can see
Ultra,
they're
but it's the
tall,
highest setting
rusted metal
that you
swords.
can have for the units.
They're basically armor
So
piercing troops.
this is
that are
basically what I'm
really good,
hoping to
like,
play
straight over
with
walls
my
and stuff like
computer
that.
on. Like
Moving
this
on,
sort of
we
graphics. A
got
little bit
these
higher than this
skeleton
overall
warriors.
because look at the
These
grass,
are more
but
your medium to low tier kind of sword infantry. Just your standard melee infantry. They're pretty cool looking. They got glowing
I like how they're shaking their
skulls,
heads like
and
bobbleheads.
It's really rickety and bony and stuff. So
They're
quite cool.
skeletons, Darren.
They are skeletons. And then, yeah, speaking of skeletons, we got more over here. We got the spearmen variation of the skeleton warriors. So yeah, so obviously these guys are use spears. They're good against like cavalry and anything kind of large.
They're quite fast.
Yeah,
for
they're quite
skeletons?
fast. Yeah, they run pretty quickly. And then behind them we have crypt ghouls. These are one of my favorite units. Interesting.
Oh,
it says Pugil
look.
infantry.
Wow.
It's
Obviously the type of weapon
Doomsdays.
that they're using. Basically, they do have poison attacks.
I had no idea
and
what
that will
these guys
slow down
were
your enemy
when I was
and deal more
watching the
damage, and
videos
damage
from the other
dealers, so
YouTubers,
they really
and
pack quite the punch.
actually now
Similar to
seeing
the,
them, they look
Crown
pretty
Raids.
cool. I mean, I thought they looked like
Yes, these are an
Doomsdays.
ethereal unit.
Oh, here we
They're,
go.
Floating, so they don't suffer
I was
any
waiting for
terrain
these guys. I saw these guys in
changes
the
as a result of, well,
Call of
They
Warhammer mod.
completely ignore the
Karen
terrain,
raids.
I think. So yeah, they're pretty cool. They got
cause
massive
terror.
sight infantry, so that's really cool. Really good against armored targets as well, because they have those sharp sights to cut through things. Then over to the cavalry, we have Black Knights. These are one of my favorite units. You'll see during the battle they pack a huge punch when they charge into the enemy. They just look really cool because
They look
even the
amazing.
horses are made of skeletons and things like that. So yeah, they're awesome. And then they have the variation, which is the shock variation infantry, or shock cavalry. They have lances, so the Black Knights with lances and barding. So a little bit more armor.
I wonder
and
if the
then
vampire
even
counts
bigger
get any
punch. They're
human-
very fast when they move.
Any,
they get tired kinda
human
quickly,
units.
though, as we'll see in the battle.
I'm hoping that they
Fell
can
backs
get
over
mercenary
here.
units
These are,
though on the
again,
campaign
kind
map,
of
but I'm not sure on
expendable,
like
just
online
a
play.
distraction tactic. That's typically how I use them, just to kind of slow down any artillery or ranged units that are hammering down on me, because the vampire counts don't have any ranged units, so it's difficult sometimes to
I
take
know
heavy
they don't have any
fire,
ranged
especially on
units.
one of the
Apparently they
opposing
do. Oh
races.
my God, look, it's
Yeah,
Doomsday
it says they are expendable
or Ninja
as well.
Turtles. I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool though.
Great
So
shape.
Oh, look at these guys.
yeah,
So
but they
these
don't
are the
have
crypt
any
hordes,
ranged or anything.
big,
So like,
nasty kind of
which
troll-like
apparently that's not
monstrous
the case in the
infantry.
Very
lore.
high weapon
I want to have a
Yeah,
talk with
they have-
some
yeah.
other
And they
YouTubers
can
on
also
this and make a
regenerate.
total assembly
So
video
slowly they'll
on
heal over
exactly
time, and combined with
if
Heinrich
these guys are going to be
Kemmler's
competitive
ability,
online or
if you
are
keep
even
them
going to
next them, you
be
can keep them kinda
worth
going.
it on the
Very,
campaign
very
map
powerful.
without any
Pack
ranged
quite a
units
punch
if that's like a
getting through.
deterrent or anything.
So that's basically our entire army. Now I'm just putting different units into the siege towers and kind of placing them around.
This is an unscripted
You do it in the
battle,
kind of standard way you did it in previous games. You just left click your infantry, right click the equipment you want them to use, and then position them as you would a normal unit. So my strategy basically here is I'm on the right side of the settlement. I could go, approach it from all sides, or approach it from the complete line if I wanted to, but I've decided just to focus on one side and really punch through just one part of the gate and get over the walls.
this is
Something
an
that's really
Empire
interesting
city.
is that this is a
We're
level
going to see
4
exactly
city
how much of a
settlement,
match
which means
they
that
are
the towers
against
are extremely
the
powerful.
Empire's ranged
As you'll
units.
see, they kind of take out. Towers do a lot of damage very quickly, and their range is the complete deployment zone that I have. So basically, if I sit as far back as I can, I'm still going to be in range of their towers.
So
we can
even
see-
at the furthest point of your deployment zone, they can still get you.
yeah, so you have to make a move for the walls as quick as possible, so that you have the best chance of getting over.
Darren's top tips.
Damn right. So here we have the.
Oh, these guys can just climb.
Yeah,
Oh, that
taking
makes it
a lot
even
of
more
damage
badass.
there.
It makes it even more awesome because I'm gonna just keep calling them Doomsdays because like I'm gonna go watch the Batman vs Superman movie later on today,
Cause a huge amount of
and so
disruption.
in the
We can see
spirit
the
of
towers
that,
firing on my
these
towers as they
Doomsdays are
approach, the front.
about to climb the
middle one is a
wall.
little bit more forward, I think, than the others, and it's taking quite a bit of a hit. Already at 43% damage, so
Ooh.
taking a good few hits there. And also my crypt horrors are down to 105 men in the unit. If you pay attention to the UI, you get to see a lot of different things. The little blue indentations above the unit icons will tell you loads of different information actually when you get used to it, such as if they're taking damage, if they're running, if they're walking, if they're being buffed, if they're being debuffed, if they're in combat, if they're winning combat. Huge amount can be gleaned from just a glance.
So
I
I'm
don't
a pause
know.
player, so that's definitely something that
These,
I feel is worth pausing and taking
the
in.
Empire's range
You know,
units
you're playing
seem
a battle for the
like
first
more than a
time.
match, more
Oh,
than
that
yeah.
tower's
Oh
Lost the tower, which
shit!
is pretty pretty significant when you only have 3. Now I've only 2 ways over the walls quickly, and the rest I'll have to use ladders. My crypt towers were actually, I kind of looked away because the towers went down, but they were accused. The enemy has a witch hunter in here, in the settlement, and they're after casting the spell to accuse them, which is doing a huge amount of damage. It's brought them down to about half strength. They were a little bit damaged because they had taken some tower fire, so now they're down to 51 in the unit.
If the AI is setting up their defenses on their walls like this, if this is unscripted, then that's more than I could say for most of the recent Total War titles so far.
Again, like you said, just using them as an expendable, just distraction force. I'm just going to send in the bats. They look absolutely amazing.
Oh, they look so sick. I almost half expect to see Batman just jump. There's a lot of Batman references in this.
As they fire, they even hit my bats as well. So that should work.
In this Let's Play.
Well, at least it's keeping them occupied for now, so you can kind of focus your efforts on the more immediate issues.
So you use them more of a distractionary force.
Fire outwards. So
very similar as how you would use blimps and stuff in if there was a World War I Total War.
Towers over there. That tower will stop firing. So now on the right side, it's actually like a lot.
Dude, it feels like you're getting mauled right now,
so
bro.
I start shifting some of my focus over that way. My battering ram now has the should be safe.
What is going on over here?
Oh dear, they're not doing well.
Yeah, so they got accused again a second time, almost down to like 13 men in the unit now, or
13 monsters.
Monsters infantry, I guess they're not really men.
Oh, okay, I see now. I think I see the.
But basically,
the reserve forces in the back,
and they were completely destroyed just as they got to the walls. So I think
there's more forces back there. So maybe this is the immediate force.
And then maybe
but so far, this siege battle is getting epic and more epic as it's going on, guys.
Well, sort of. I don't want the enemy to come
exactly
out
what I thought it would be like
on me and just suddenly wipe out
if they made these changes. With these changes that they implemented,
like the cavalry obviously has no way in at the moment, so I keep them really far back.
So you're going in stages, basically. Once the gates are open, then you're going to pull the rest in.
Yeah. So I made a small little. Even though there's only a few guys in that unit, they have captured that tower, and now I'm getting over the walls with zombies on other sides, and I'm starting to push through. I put my grave guard with the great weapons on the walls to do the most damage, and they're holding their own quite well up there.
I wonder if they're quite durable with
and mortar fire is still coming in from the city
projectiles.
a little bit now that the bats are dying
off.
Back up. But yeah, it's like I'm making good progress, I think, on the wall. So I decided to cast a hex here.
Is he up there? Oh no, he's on the bottom.
It's the Curse of Years. So basically this hex does minus 24 melee attack, minus 24% speed, and plus 15 ability recharge. So basically everything in that zone of control that you can see on the UI, that blue radius, is going to receive that hex.
More units. Okay,
and that allows my troops to do more damage to them, basically.
The descriptive text is quite bleak, actually. It says, the wizard spits out an ancient curse, causing his enemies to age at an incredible rate, their hair turning white, and their skin shriveling up. And that's pretty harsh, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. So yeah, they're basically all turning to old men dying, essentially is what's happening there. Also, you'll notice at the gate, the AI has actually completely covered the gate with 2 units, a spear unit and a greatsword infantry unit. Greatswords are immensely powerful units, and I've decided to cast a buff spell to my guys on the walls. They're actually suffering a little bit of crumbling. You can see their flag is like kind of, there's a red particle effect around it. So I've tried to buff them. I think the spell was Van Hel's Dance Macabre.
Friendly targets are filled with magical energy, making them even more aggressive.
Yeah, so that's 24% speed and 24 melee attack. Obviously, these stats could be completely changed by release. They were still feeling out the balancing of magic at the moment. But it's at a pretty good stage now where you definitely notice the effects.
So Van Hel's Dance Macabre is kind of like, it's a target 1 ally, so I would generally use it on a lord, a legendary lord, or a hero, because magic is really relative. If you're not using it for its intended purpose, it's not going to do much for you. And ultimately, if you use it for the wrong purpose, it can backfire in a big way. So
completely.
Undeath Resurgent is one that's kind of a bit more of an AoE, which it's good for general units, especially kind of all piled in together.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, you'll see me using that a lot later, and it doesn't.
Okay, so the walls are pretty much what looks like to be taken. I don't know. They got a couple more units on there.
That is like Heinrich Kemmler's ability.
Well, you're not doing too badly here.
Magic is going to be something that I'm going to have to look at because, especially with balancing, they did say that some of the spells might backfire on you. So, I mean, that is kind of good, depending on if the spell is way too powerful and it has a chance to hurt your own guys, or if it's an area spell that might hurt your own guys.
They're trying to punch through their spearmen. And it's going to be tough because spearmen are good against large, and I've put large against them, which isn't a good idea. But it'll take a while. They're a pretty powerful unit, and they've actually broken now, so we've just gotten.
He might want to send in the rest of his reinforcements to
deeper,
kind of drive this effort
We
home.
are taking a lot of fire though, and this is the struggle that I tend to have with the vampire counts is just the amount of fire
Oh man, that guy got hit in the back.
Do much back until you've got your units in there, and with such a mixture of fast and incredibly slow units, you really have to pick and choose what you get in first. Oh, Kemmler's down.
Kemmler's down. I brought him down on the ground now. There's a massive pile of infantry down here, so I thought it would be perfect time to use the Wind of Death. So I've cast it there on this unit. Again, I was hoping that it didn't double back on me, which it doesn't, and it blows, absolutely tears through those units, throws them all around the
Wind
place.
of Death.
Some
Oh
of them get
shit!
back up, but a lot of them stay down. Because this unit was basically.
Oh wow,
fresh
that
unit
looks
when I
really cool.
cast the spell. It's not going to kill too many, but it does a huge amount of damage.
Man, I wonder if you can upgrade
then I
that to
cast
kill
the
like all
Hex
that,
again,
because
same
that
one
was
as
pretty
before,
cool.
Just to lower the.
I mean, I
just
would
to
do
lower
that,
the
but
melee
I would
attack
also
and
have
speed,
to
so
have
I
like
can
a
just cut them
cavalry.
down
It'd be
before
cool if
they
you have
get
like a
back. So
cavalry
there's a lot of
unit
missile troops
lunging
there,
into
that's why
that.
I want to slow them down and cut them down before they can get back.
You can nicely see the area of effect that it will have there as well.
Yeah, actually I kind of casted it a little bit badly because the area of effect moved forward because I casted it on one unit that ran forward. I should have casted on the ones that stayed back, and then it would have had a more broad effect. But
Yeah,
actually,
that
as
one's
they move back,
crumbling. That one's
slowly taking
crumbling.
effect on those guys
I
now.
feel like the walls are still not.
So I
Oh,
was
he's
bringing my
riding.
cavalry into the city now. Now that the gates are open and I've kind of cleared a path, it's time to bring all my Black Knights in, bring them around the back of the city, and then cut down like these archer units and these gunners.
You know what's so weird? This
So monsters infantry, the crypt ghouls,
centered
Yes.
battle that they have
Cryptodes,
right now, where
and
it's
now
only on
pushing
one
up
side of the
big-
wall.
big unit.
For some
I decided to
reason,
activate
this
the,
really,
the
and
kind of
I actually really
free
do. I'm
ability,
a
essentially.
big
What was it called?
advocate of this idea, and it reminds me of
Sorry, I'm still
a
learning my
medieval
lore, of course.
a medieval two. I mean, in a
Doing
Rome
that
one
gave me
battle,
extra speed and
siege
extra
battle.
melee attack for my
Like
monsters,
especially like being
to
able
just
to
cut
go
them
around
down
and
and
outflank
catch
and
up
everything.
from
I don't know. It
the
just
So it'd be
feels
really
like
powerful
one
when
of
you
those
stack them on
battles to
top
me. I
of
don't know
real powerful
why.
units like that.
When it's centered
I
so
love
closely,
it's
and like the streets are
descriptive
so
text.
big, and
Arise,
I don't
do
know.
not
I don't know what it
falter,
is.
Do not crumble.
Mhm.
Back to life once more.
It feels
Yeah,
like it
gives you
feels like
more,
one of those
leadership.
battles.
So giving you more leadership will basically mean that so leadership is what morale kind of is what replaced morale for the vamps.
Yes. Yeah.
So if your leadership reaches 0, then you begin to crumble, and if it goes down really fast or below 0 by a lot, then you crumble even faster, and your units will break apart and die.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
It also gives an impressive buff to
Pistoliers
melee
and,
defense as well as melee attack, but I think defense
all their
is
ranged
its
units.
key kind of function
I think.
there.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
probably,
you still
yeah.
got that whole.
Yeah.
See, I
It's
like
kinda
how
like a
there's
last
only
stand
one
thing.
point.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's
The
what
descriptive
makes
text
me feel like
basically
it's
reinforces that.
medieval 2
Again,
Rome
learning-
1,
learning
where
a
it's
lot
like you
about
want
magic
to put your
laws for
all
each
your
of
guys
races,
surrounding
depending
them
on
because
which
the
you choose for
AI
your
is going to stay
campaign,
right in the
is very
center.
important because
Basically,
they
what they
are
did was
each
just regress
for
back
an
to
intended
a
purpose,
earlier
so
time of Total
do
War,
be
where I
careful
feel
when
like it
you're
was a
picking
lot
and
more.
choosing your magic, which you can
The
do
siege battles were a
in
lot
these
more
skill
interesting.
points as well.
I noticed that to just cause some sort of cast
Nobody's
some
killed
sort
the
of
Witch
hex on
Hunter
Heinrich
yet.
himself. I think
The
it was
only
actually,
unit, the one
an
unit that can cause
fuse from the Witch
major
Hunter.
damage and completely set you back.
Because his health has gone down to halfway now, and I mustn't have noticed that at the time actually. But I was going to say, you want to never leave him on his own like that, because Heinrich isn't like a great
Is that
fighter, he's a
Carl
wizard. He's kind of meant to stay back, be protected, and cast his spells.
Oh, I don't.
He will
it doesn't look
regenerate
like
over
him,
time
though.
though, the more he casts spells, so he'll probably be okay, but I've kind of left him out in the open there, and that's something as well you don't want to do too much of.
He's more of a support
Oh my
legendary
god, I'm gonna
lord, I
lose so
would
many
say,
battles
there.
Yeah.
zooming in,
Whereas,
looking at all the
you know,
all the guys
Manfred's
fighting and shit.
definitely able to handle his business
Yeah,
solo.
he's got like
There you go.
a weapon, like a sword on another one as well, basically.
Because
so
that
he's
battle
well
was
up
not going
for
your favor.
combat.
In your favor.
I just wanted to mention these charge impacts are really greatly improved since since previous games. They just look really good. They don't take too much of a run up either. They only need maybe like 10 or 20 meters, and they
Yeah,
suddenly
because
like have
charges
this
in
massive impact. It's
Rome
really
and Attila
satisfying
were
to use them.
very dismal.
You can also see there's lots of kind of units
Very disappointing.
rather than going down different streets there
Not
as
as
well.
much
But
punch.
I mean,
That's basically my own fault. I could have taken the different avenues, but we've kind of bunched up a bunch of my troops together. I'm trying to keep them
Darren.
together because they're all about to crumble. Like that's what that red particle
Mm.
effect around their flags is. So basically, I've taken a lot of losses getting over the walls. So I just don't really have the manpower.
So I'm
to
confused.
bring
How is
troops
crumbling
around
different than
these walls. I tried
morale,
with my
besides
cavalry
being
and my
constantly
spearmen, I'm
different?
only just getting over now.
I
In
mean,
fact,
I think they
just
were
got,
explaining it
Curse,
how
accused
if you
again by
lose your
Witch
leader,
Hunter. Here
then
he is
the
here, I
crumble
finally
is
found him.
all your units will basically crumble.
Engaged
But at
him
the
over
same
there.
time,
So
I
we
mean,
should be
if
able
you
to
lose
take
your
him out 2
general,
units versus
the
just
morale of
a
your men
single
is basically
unit.
gone.
That
It's the same.
should
It's like
be
very
okay.
similar. It's like the same thing. Just call something
So we're
different.
just
I
pushing
think.
into
I
the
don't know.
center of the
Maybe
town now.
if
We
you guys
really
find the
have very,
difference,
very
go ahead and
little
put in the
left.
comment section below. Let me know.
So I'm just
Because
constantly
I think for
activating
me it
these kind
seems
of
like the
buffs to
same
try and
thing.
help out my units. We're grinding through with our monsters
dude, you're
infantry.
gonna
That like,
unless you can get that
of units over there.
cavalry around.
Cavalry is now free to push around on the back. Here's a good example of good AI. There's an archer unit and a spear unit, and they send the spear unit forward and the archer unit back. Obviously, it's a tiny spear unit at this point, and I actually keep the charge going into the second unit behind it, and the impact stays there. So that's a really nice example of like how cavalry is much more impactful in this game. Especially vampiric cavalry. They have high charge bonus. It always looks really, really good. So I freed up the kind of main avenue. All the avenues now are kind of freed up into the city, except for the one big one to the right.
You do look like you're kind of pushing forward into the middle a lot better with your different units. So I think you're kind of damage controlling really well.
Yeah, at this point I was thinking like, okay, I actually might be able to win this. A lot of them are actually running away. There's a couple units left that are a little bit of a high threat.
Wait, at this point, Darren, do you lose?
Well, we'll see.
We will see.
So the Witch Hunter is there. He's about to rout as well. He's taking a huge amount of damage. He's actually bogged down 2 of my units, which is really annoying. It would be great if I could bring them here. And constantly we're seeing these UI messages that says a unit has been wiped out. So it doesn't look too good, but I still have hope. The bar is at 50-50.
And
my cavalry's coming
Heinrich's
into
getting his health back as well.
Yeah, he is. So here's the general of the other army. It's Balthazar Gelt. I never really mentioned him or zoomed in on him, but he did cast some spells from the Lore of Metal that you might have noticed in the beginning. He cast
I like
one
how
on the
units
siege tower
last
early on,
longer.
actually.
I don't know.
So here he is in the center, kind of
when
the rally point for all his troops. And I've put Heinrich directly against him in combat, which probably isn't a good idea, but they are both kind of wizards, not really meant for combat as much. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of comes out on top.
Oh, Heinrich's health is going down though.
Yeah, he is. It's quite low. Not gonna lie. The green VFX you can see every time you cast a spell, you're healing, with the red VFX is the crumbling mechanic. So it's really an all-out ditch effort to try and like see if we can just if I could kill Balthazar, I think I could win. But the Demigryph Knights are surrounding me as well. And they're after throwing Heinrich on the ground. And I've activated one more Undeath Resurgence just to buff everybody. You can just see all the magic that's kicking off at the moment. Balthazar is activating his spells as well.
He's gone.
And unfortunately Heinrich goes down.
Look how quickly the crumble takes effect there.
And as soon as he goes down, the whole army completely crumbles. And that's it. So it was very, very close in the end. It was a valiant defeat.
But it was valiant, Darren.
It was. We got right to the centre, but we just couldn't pull it off in the end.
So that was the Battle of Altdorf. I think you did pretty well. It was a valiant defeat, but it was still valiant.
Yeah, so it was quite close.
They had about the same amount of men. So the same amount of men, but much worse losses. I don't know if that's because of the siege, of the way the siege is, or because they have no ranged units at all.
Reinforcing them with zombies.
I don't know.
So there's a few things
I wouldn't have brought 4 bats if they're only distractionary forces. I'll tell you that much right now. I would have brought more men.
Any units you would have changed?
Well, it would always be nice to get, like, you know, Vargeists or a Vargulf in there, but I thought, you know, we'd go for kind of more earlier units to kind of balance it out a little bit more and just see how it goes. I had one monstrous unit, and I kind of paid the same for the both armies. You don't have any range units, you're already unbalanced. So it was quite balanced. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
Well, the roster for the vampire counts is now on the wiki, so have a look and let us know what your army would be in the comments.
Well,
the
definitely would
link
not
is
be
in the
that
description,
kind of army.
and thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe this video,
Alright guys,
and
let me
stay
go ahead
tuned
and
for
give you
more
my
videos
thoughts on
on
that
Total
battle.
War
The
Warhammer.
good, the positive,
Thanks,
I
guys,
did
and
like
join
the
us
way the
next
battle
time.
looked. The graphics seem to be greatly improved, so that's a great relief. I definitely liked the way the city looked, the graphics on the units. I liked how some of the I like how the AI deployed itself. I like how the siege. I like the siege in general. I like how the siege was centric. I like how the siege reminded me of Rome 1 and Medieval 2 because of the only one capture point. So I enjoyed that as well. A couple other stuff. I like the magic. I love the magic actually aspects of it. I just think it's so cool having like your general be like casting all these spells, and at the end, right before you're about to lose, just right there, because he knew he was gonna lose. He just starts buffing his units, whatever he can do, and like all this stuff. It would make it really epic. I love it. I love the way the cinematic mode was. I can't wait to make videos with this. I'm so excited. Cannot wait 2 more months. And then there's the bad. I don't think the vampire counts are very competitive from what I've seen. They're not, and it's sad. I don't think they're very competitive compared to other factions. All the other factions have missile units, and it just seems like much faster and sturdier units than the vampire counts do. I feel like the vampire counts sturdier units are they don't have many men in a unit, so they're not going to be able to make that balance. I haven't seen a vampire count our army that has been competitive yet. I mean, I can go and try to pick one out from what I've seen on the roster that they've sent out, and I mean, or they put out or whatever. But I don't think that there's any real comparison. Now, when it comes to the Empire units, I did like a lot of the Empire units. I liked how very similar they were. Like how if when I was watching them, it felt like just like normal Total War game, and I liked how they had much more range units. I felt like the Empire had more men in each unit, weirdly, I felt like. And I felt like they lasted a lot longer. So I did like that. I did like the Empire units. What else didn't I like? One thing that was weird for me was every time they clicked on the Kemmler, he like did this noise, like, rah, 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 like he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything cool. He just kind of like made a weird noise. And so I don't know if like some of the units, some of the generals, when when you click on them, they'll make noises on like. And then like in Rome 2 until it's like, I am here, sir, or whatever the little quotes or little quips that they say. Well, in this battle, when he kept clicking on him, he just kept going, rah, 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 rah. And like, so I don't know, that's kind of like a little small kind of thing that I'm nitpicking at. I don't know, it just kind of felt weird for me. What else? I don't know how they're gonna do magic. I don't know if they're gonna have people. They're gonna have for multiplayer. They're gonna have a late, middle, and early type of mode because a lot of the spells seem to be the weaker ones seem to be early. And if you don't want that much spells in your game, you might want to go for an earlier game. But if you want spells and all this stuff, then you might want to go for a late game. So I don't know exactly how they're gonna do multiplayer with that. But besides that, I really did enjoy this. This is a very, very long, very detailed. I love how they went into more units. They went closer to units. They showed a lot more cinematics. They showed how beautiful the battle was. If that was 100% a non-scripted, just campaign battle, I'm stoked. That was pretty epic. Didn't seem like there was anything wrong. Seemed like they fixed the bugs that some of the YouTubers' videos showed. So I really did enjoy it, guys. Thank you so much for watching me watch the video. It was live. I'd never seen it, so sorry if it was a lot of things that came off the cuff, came off the fly. Again, I gave you the option in the description. There was a link to the actual video. Go ahead and watch it, guys. If you guys still want to see without my commentary or my commentary over it. But let's see if we can get over 50 likes for them to come out with Chaos Warriors gameplay, because I'm ready for that faction. I'm ready to see exactly how that faction stacks up. That way I can go ahead and start making some predictions on which factions are going to be the strongest when it comes to multiplayer and campaign. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become a subscriber today. This is going to be Sunjutsu signing off.
Are on the highest detail though. So here we are backing out. These are the siege towers and the zombies there at the back of them.
So there's bones and coffins embedded in their towers. That's some brutal, scary towers right there, I think.
Yeah, it's really nice detail.
Cool.
They're kind of made of like stone muck, and yeah, it's really like it's been pulled out of the ground and just bones and things like that. So it's very, very nice, very cool looking indeed.
There's some dense zombie units here as well.
Just shambling.
For those of you guys who know,
waiting to take the city.
this siegecraft that the Vampire Accounts has, they just stated that it had bones and coffins and stuff on it, but it looks like it was something that just came out of the ground, like it was a spell, like siege equipment rise, and then the siege equipment came right out of the ground. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I decided to play as this guy.
oh my god, I thought it was a
we
witch.
haven't really showed him off yet too much. His clothes are made of skin.
See the faces and the hands.
All that. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'll give you my thoughts real quick at the end, but I want to go ahead and watch the video.
Sega.
The footage shown uses the in-game engine.
Hello and welcome to another video for Total War Warhammer. My name is Joey Dalton and I'm joined by Darren McNally, who has already played this Battle of Altdorf.
Yes, so this is a unscripted custom battle. It's a siege, and I'm playing as the Vampire Counts against the Empire. So we thought we'd just give you an unscripted siege so that you can see exactly how it plays out. I've actually gone for a little bit more troops than normal. I've gone for around 24, and I think the enemy have about 26. So this is Altdorf. It's a beautiful looking city. I've chosen a lovely nice day to show off the units in really good lighting.
It looks a lot brighter than
Have gone
before.
in since the preview build, so the game is looking absolutely gorgeous now, and they're still continuing to tweak the lighting and add more.
Oh, okay, they
lighting
put in those
environments
changes
so
to the
that it
lighting.
look like more variation.
Oh, and guys, by the
As
way,
you can see, it looks
if you want to
really,
go
really
and
nice.
watch the
I mean,
video
we're still in
without me
development, so
talking
it's
through
worth
it,
noting that there may be
the link
changes
is
from
in the
what you see
description
here,
below.
Nothing
FYI.
too significant. Magic is something that has also changed slightly. It's stronger than it was before, but we'll talk through that more when we see it happening on the screen. I mean, as we look through Altdorf, the city is massive.
Yeah, it stretches on for miles. Now, the playable area is a little bit smaller than that, but the visual fidelity of the city is still just as good, even in the distance. You can have a little zoom
Look,
in
puddles.
and have a look at it.
It actually looks
pretty.
really stunning right now.
But basically, we're fighting
This
up
is the-
against one wall on one side of the
This
city.
is the
and we're
city.
gonna
This is
make a
the
bridge
graphics
through
that we're gonna
and
get.
We'll get to that anyway when
It actually
when we're
looks
done-
quite
when we're done
beautiful.
panning around.
Completely
I just thought it'd
different
be worth
than some of
showing
these
this lovely architecture.
demos
It's
that
worth
we've
mentioning
seen so
that
far.
I've already played through this battle. We're not live playing it right now. We're commentating over the battle that I played myself. So I just had a
Okay, so
little
this is an
pan around the city to show
unscripted
off some
battle,
of the
guys,
fantastic
and
work
it
that
looks
our
like they're
artists have
using
been
the
doing. Absolutely
in-game
down to the
cinematic
finest
mode.
details.
So
I
right
love
now
this
he's
building
just
up on here, the
basically
skull with
viewing
the
a
wreath on it.
replay.
Looks
So it's
amazing.
pretty. It looks
It
actually
always
really
skulls in Warhammer,
good.
Darren, always.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
important
stoked
everywhere,
about this, guys.
Literally everywhere. So
Because the past
yeah, it
battles
just
were
looks
looking
really,
a little
really nice, the lighting, the lovely
and this
sky
one I don't
details
know
and stuff.
what it is,
It's
but
also worth
I mean
mentioning
they
we're
said
not
this is
playing on
the
highest graphics.
build that
playing
we're gonna
on
get right before.
roughly around high, not on ultra. We thought
This
we'd
is
turn
not
it down
ultra
just a little bit
graphics.
so
This
that
is
people
about
could see
high.
generally what most people should be able
vampire
to kind of
counts.
play as.
Oh yeah, the vampire counts are sieging.
And-
Oh
and
man, I almost
also
forgot.
give you a good level of detail. The troop.
What's up, subscribers? Sunjutsu here, and today, right before I was about to go to sleep, Creative Assembly decided to go ahead and post a Let's Play battle for the vampires, and looks like they're going to go ahead and siege the Empire City of Altdorf. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a live review. I have not watched this video yet, so it might be a little bit unscripted-ish and amateur sounding. Sorry about that, guys, but this is my first ever review where I'm just watching the video with you guys, giving you guys my up-to-the-minute comments, which probably composed of me being like, oh, that's cool, and